Greetings, everybody. It's Damon yet again, and yeah, I changed shirts because, well, you never asked, because I had to go eat before doing this video. I had to go eat supper, and truth be told, I'm more comfortable in this one. Uh, so that's for sure one. Second of all, my previous video was about basically the Odyssey mad haters. You should get to see there. If I never rarely use that expression, but the mad haters of the Odyssey really give up a lot of small dick energy, if you know what I mean. They really do. Like you can dislike it, you have every right to dislike it. You can find boring, whatever, that's fine, and your cup of tea, fine. I have no problem when people do this, but to impose your point of view or rooting for the movie to fail or thinking because you didn't like the movie, it's a bad movie, shut up. Like grow up, get a life. But go see that movie, that video. You're probably gonna be entertained. I gave you much more reasons why. But today, now I want to do some rebooking of SummerSlam 2014. Where was I in 2014? I was basically in the midst of finishing out my graduate degrees, or about to, 1 year about to finish my graduate degree, and so it was a lot of work for that. Uh, in terms of music, I don't remember that much. Uh, I remember 2013 where I just mentioned it's like we found out like 1 year after Dark Knight Rises, we knew the next Batman would be Ben Affleck, and at the time people complain about Ben Affleck being Batman. And now people say he might have been very comic accurate and was the one that deserved an actual movie there. But in 2014, there was a lot of good movies in movie theater that time. There were X-Men Days of Future Past, which I still maintain just might be the best pure X-Men movie there is. Guardians of the Galaxy surprised the hell out of me. I expected nothing was very good. I mean, yeah, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, aka my favorite Captain America movie ever, and to be in context, be honest, might be one of my favorite Marvel comic book movie ever, along with Iron Man 1. Because it felt like bar having Black Widow, it felt more self-contained about Captain America rather than basically introduce everybody else. Having a self-contained story. So I like that one. I was disappointed with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Michael Bay version. Yeah, it's Michael Bay, but it's TMNT. It's not supposed to be so hard to write. And while it was better than TMNT 3, I'll give you that, it's not exactly like I would say it's a high bar in this one. I actually prefer TMNT 2 Out of the Shadows. I felt that did it better, but even then it was like bad to mediocre. TMNT 2 Out of the Shadow was just mediocre. So I was disappointed. I was also disappointed with Sin City 2, A Dam to Kill For, and all of this. This is a sequel that should have happened like in 2007. It's a sequel that waited too long to happen, and that by that point, nobody cared. So those are movies I can remember from that. Also, Edge of Tomorrow, a very underrated Tom Cruise movie, and I'll dare say it, Tom Cruise, not just in terms of stunt, but it's like his action movies feel like very can't miss prospects. Now he's going to be doing the movie Digger, and I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by the movie Digger, you know, with the same director of Birdman and Revenant. So I'm expecting an ambiguous ending. One other movie that I watched in 2014 that was very good then. I'll let you know. Was anime movies are basically on my list there. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I thought was good. Was good. Transformers 4, I thought was the most tedious of the Transformers. Not the worst one, because I thought it was Transformers 2 the worst one, but Transformers 4 insisted upon himself. Just like Peter Griffin said that Godfather insisted upon himself. Like, you insist upon yourself to be 2 hours, 40 minutes when you could have just been 2 hours. Like, what the hell, man? Oh, and Many Ways to Die in the West is actually a pretty good time. Expendable 3 was the worst of three Expendables, but there's a reason I said the Expendable trilogy not include the fourth one. Because at least this one felt like an Expendable movie. Mel Gibson, the bad guys, stole the show as a bad guy, but I felt like it lacked something that made the first two better. There's an Hercules movie from The Rock, and it was fine, I guess. And that's the thing with some Rock movies. It's like either fine, I guess, like Black Adam. Hercules, or can it just be flat out disastrous? You know? So that's that summer. Summer had that really good movies, but also some really disappointing ones just as much. It felt like a movie that was balanced. Oh, there was 22 Jump Street. Oh yeah, that was hilarious. I need that kind of comedy. Seriously, we used to have those kind of comedies we don't anymore, and I miss that time. But in terms of wrestling, where were we? Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was WB champion until he was forced to forfeit it, and this is out of injuries and out of basic circumstances. I couldn't change it, and honestly, I would want him to come back to come back just to be squashed. That's for damn sure. I wouldn't. I mean, Seth Rollins turned heel, and I'm thinking, should they or shouldn't they? Because I'm really wondering if Seth Rollins should have turned heel. As a matter of fact, I think Dean Ambrose should have turned heel. There were more hints toward Dean Ambrose turning heels, but out of nowhere, you know what? Let's swerve everybody. Let's have Seth Rollins turn heel, which made a great moment before. But it felt like when he turned heel at first, Seth Rollins kind of felt like I'm not aligned with the authority. Like I felt it was going to be a loose ally, or basically I'm just an ally to you against Ambrose, and that's it. Nope. He's a full-on blown. He acted like a complete spoiled child during the authority, and I didn't like that. I would basically Bray Wyatt. I think should have won at WrestleMania against John Cena. Should have won at Extreme Rules and then lost at Payback in a last man standing match. You could have easily done that. He doesn't lose a proper match, but he lost the feud, and you can go back later on that time. So yeah, you have Miz winning back the X title, turning heel. I have no problem with this. None whatsoever. I love The Miz, and I still believe, like, and that's my opinion. I feel Triple H never liked The Miz because The Miz reminded him so much of himself, but Triple H says, his ego, they can only be one of me. I'm allowed to act like a complete asshole and use politics in the back. But while Miz doesn't use politics, he's not an asshole. He has the same drives I do, so, and it could be the closest thing to me, basically, to me as an eel. So let's make him as a joke character. Which basically, AKA, which is kind of funny because that's what Triple H should have been. The current role of Miz should have been what Triple H would have been in his later years. There was RVD coming back, and they made him come back with the day after WrestleMania. I could kind of understand, but they gave him barely any direction. I feel like should have won the World Heavyweight title last year. So I remember Dean Ambrose was, we people complaining about people not defending titles. Dean Ambrose was one of the most basically the guy who was the biggest offenders because I think he defended his U.S. title like 9 times tops, including house shows during the whole time he was U.S. champion for like nearly a year or so. So I would have had him the same battle royal, but I wouldn't have gone to have Sheamus win the U.S. title. I would have Rob Van Dam win the U.S. title and win the only title that he didn't gain yet. I still have Seth Rollins. I still have Dean Ambrose turn against Seth Rollins and the Shield, but somehow, some way, Seth Rollins would still wind up with the Money in the Bank match winner. As the Money in the Bank match winner, Sheamus would still be Sheamus. We have Kofi Kingston having a losing streak, Biggie as well. Xavier Woods is trying to recruit both of them, but yeah. And you still have basically the Brotherhood, basically starry Cody Rhodes might not be exactly Stardust, or it would just be Stardust for a match, but they're starting winning more tag team, but they become more aggressive. But tag team champion would still be the Usos. The IC champion would be the Miz. US champion would be Rob Van Dam, and Divas champion would be AJ Lee, who won the title back from Paige the day after Money in the Bank. So how would I book SummerSlam 2014? It wouldn't be very a drastic change, but there would be still some significant change in the card. So for the Intercontinental title, I would have Miz defending against Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston. Yes, I know, basically the habitual suspect for the IC title facing off. And I have Dolph Ziggler hit the zigzag. Basically, he would try to hit the zigzag on Miz, sorry. Then afterwards, Kofi Kingston nails the Trouble in Paradise to Dolph Ziggler. He goes 1, 2, foot in a rope. Ziggler gets his foot in the ropes. And then eventually that leads to basically a back and forth encounter until Ziggler hits a desperation super kick on Kofi Kingston. And despite the fact I thought that Ziggler wasn't great, I feel like he should have been the only one using the super kick as a finisher. And because he actually does it well. And it hurts to say that. But he should have done a super kick. He stumbles to ringside and stumbles to ringside. So Kofi gets dropped by the super kick, and a staggered Ziggler falls back into the waiting arms of the Miz with the skull crushing finale 1, 2, 3. He retains the IC Championship. After the match, Kofi snaps and takes down Dolph Ziggler while the Miz just looks around being confused on the stage, raises his arm to be IC champion, and after he delivers a troubled paradise to Ziggler, Kofi leaves. So you have this start off. Then you have AJ Lee against Paige, like in real life, an 8-minute match, and Paige wins the Divas title. For the third match in the card, I would have Rob Van Dam defends against the 2014 Under Giant Battle Royal winner, Cesaro. And I would have done what WWE didn't care to do. I would have actually followed up that WrestleMania victory with Cesaro winning championship, and he wouldn't win it at SummerSlam. Basically, I think RVD's leaving the day afterwards anyway, so why not? That'd be RVD's farewell match for the time being. Basically, miss a 5-star frog splash. So like this, you don't misuse finishers like right now we do. We don't basically kick out of every finisher. He missed a 5-star frog splash. Cesaro catches him. Basically, throws RVD in the air for basically a huge uppercut. Keeps him on his feet. Does a neutralizer 1, 2, 3. Then we have Rusev against Jack Swagger. I wonder, yeah. First of all, on SmackDown, you could have Jack Swagger actually squash Alberto Del Rio. Who cares about him? 2 minutes, ankle lock, tap out. Rusev face up against Jack Swagger. Rusev wins. Then, in a battle of big meaty men, you have Sheamus against Big E. No story involved. No need to. Or the very worst could be #1 contendership for the US title. How about that? And Sheamus, basically, Big E's about to win. He's about to get the big ending. Sheamus ducks, hit the bro kick. 1, 2, 3. Big E's disappointed. Sheamus just leaves the ring. Big E's like frustrated. And Sheamus goes to shake his hand, whereas Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods comes in the ring. And they're both angry and they're wondering what's happening. At first, Big E's going to shake his hand, but Kofi sucker punched Sheamus. And Xavier wished him to cheer him on. Big E is confused, but Sheamus is taking it. Eventually, he's countering it. He's realizing the bigger of the two men. He's countering Kofi Kingston. He's attacking Xavier Woods. He's about to give a bro kick to Xavier Woods when Big E interferes, and all 3 men, so Kofi, Big E, and Xavier Woods, attack Sheamus, leave him laying with a midnight hour, and the New Day is officially formed at SummerSlam. Then, rather than basically, you could start this as they were intended to start as an heel group. You make it an heel group. Because starting as basically face at first, it didn't work. Make him an heel group at first and save us time. Then you have Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. And since Dean Ambrose closely lost the Money in the Bank match, and Dean Ambrose is the heel, I would actually have Dean Ambrose win. After 14 minutes, and it wouldn't be a lumberjack match. It'll just be basically a normal match. Then you have the Brotherhood versus Slater Gator. An easy win in 5-6 minutes for the Brotherhood, but they have to win and they show more aggression. Then, I remember Batista quitting on Raw and just never coming back, and I would basically reference this. Triple H would always make sure to insult Batista, and they would give Nikki Bella would be fired to Stephanie McMahon until Brie Bella comes in and tries to fight for Nikki Bella's career. So, you have Batista coming back, and you have a mixed tag match at SummerSlam 2014. Batista and Brie Bella versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And I would have Batista and Brie Bella win the match when Brie pins Stephanie McMahon. And the stipulation on that match would have been, okay, if Batista's team wins, or basically if Batista pins Triple H, Nikki's rehired. But since she wasn't rehired, you think Nikki would be happy with the victory? No, she turns on Brie Bella because she realizes how stupid you are, whatever. Batista comes to help out, and gets hit with a sledgehammer from Triple H. Again, I don't like Triple H, but it's like, hey, keep him strong in that case. And Triple H being pinned by Batista makes sure that basically the WrestleMania 35 match actually has some stake because literally he never pinned him. So you have some stake for WrestleMania 35. Some intrigue there. Then a penultimate match. I have Roman Reigns and the Big Show against Kane and Randy Orton. And so will they, won't they? Because Big Show will turn later on that year as a face. Well, he always does and becomes a heel. But in that case, it's an uneasy alliance because Big Show and Roman Reigns have been at war for several months now, and Kane and Randy Orton seem to be a much more well-oiled machine. But lo and behold, there's some friction between Kane and Randy Orton because at one point, Kane basically rakes the eye of what he thinks is going to be what's going to be is Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns avoids this, just skirts the point, skirts to the left, and he grabs Randy Orton without mistake. He rakes his eye. Randy Orton hits a hard KO, which is followed up with the WMB and the spear for Roman Reigns for Reigns and Big Show to win. It'd be a 12-minute match, nothing match. And then in the main event, you have John Cena against Brock Lesnar. I would keep it the exact same way. I have Brock Lesnar squash them, but let's be honest. That's one of the few times I felt like Brock Lesnar should have been WWE champion or Universal champion. Well, this and when he won against Goldberg, but should have just been 2 reigns. Or maybe 3 at the very worst, not 7. I think he won 7 titles since he came back, and I don't think he should have gone that many, especially since him introduced the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns schedule, and I don't like that. Now, do I believe every WWE champion, World Heavyweight Champion, Universal Champion should defend the title every week? No, I don't think it's productive. I think once a month is okay. But basically not even there once a month for Roman Reigns to show up or in 2022, I think Roman Reigns basically spent like he was gone from WrestleMania up till maybe several weeks before SummerSlam, and that to me it's unacceptable. I mean, if you're not gonna be champion, if you want to be around and be a celebrity, fine, or be basically a special case attraction, fine, but don't be the world champion. And WWE should learn their lesson from now on. And FYI, I know Seth Rollins is not going to win the title, but at least if it's not Seth Rollins, it's about Femi. By September, I hope that Roman Reigns loses the World Heavyweight title. And this, Brock Lesnar should have squashed Cena. He should have not been the streak, but should have squashed Cena anyway. But that's the one time I'll grant to Lesnar they should have been WWE champion. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of this. Talk to you later for Rebooking SummerSlam 2015. Take care, guys.